So it's been about roughly 20 years since I made probably the first, major decision that I made for myself to put some distance between um, being suicidal and getting better, I guess. And it was a very difficult decision for me to make because I knew I was letting a lot of people down by making that decision, and I knew that it was sending my life in potentially a whole different direction. But I knew I had to make that decision in order to move further away from that point that I had reached of committing suicide. And I had moved past that point of committing suicide already, but not that far past it. I knew that I wasn't ever going to do it at that point, but I didn't have anything beyond that. I was just there. I was just standing at the edge of the cliff, looking away from it. I was no longer looking over the cliff, being ready to jump. And I'm not saying I was at a cliff, literally speaking, but I had turned around. At least I hadn't moved anywhere, but I had turned around, and I knew that I wasn't ever going to go look back. But I didn't know where to go. I didn't know why to go anywhere or how to go anywhere. But I was no longer at that point where I was trying to make the decision whether or not I was going to do it or not do it. And I didn't. I didn't do it. Obviously, I'm here, and I guess it's not obvious. I could have tried to do it and not succeeded like some people do. But I never really even tried. I guess you might argue that I drank so much a couple times I could have done it, but I wasn't drinking with the sole purpose of dying at the end of my drinking session, even though I drank a lot and I could have, but I didn't. So and I think that's one of the really difficult things for people in that situation, is that we are standing at the edge, and we're looking over, and we could look to our right, we could look to our left, we could turn around and look behind us, but we always turn back to that ledge because we don't know where to go, we don't know why to go there, or what to do or how to do it. And some of us are actually hanging off the ledge, and at a certain point, I was hanging off the ledge, just ready to let go. And there's a lot of reasons that we're in those situations. Yeah, and all those reasons, no matter how ridiculous they may seem to you, are legitimate. I mean, you're feeling the way you're feeling, and there's no, I guess, bad reason for feeling that way. Even though, I mean, I guess feeling that way is bad, but whatever the reason is, that's why, and it's tough because sometimes people will look at you, and when you say explain why, they'll be like, well, that's ridiculous. Why would you want to commit suicide because you lost your job, or lost your home, or you got bullied at school, or you got embarrassed, or you did something, really bad that you were ashamed of, or, because, you're in poor health, or your parents got divorced, or, your boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with you, or, you realize that you weren't going to be able to graduate with your degree, you failed a test, or people were mean to you, or whatever. Some people just aren't going to understand, and one of the first things that will help you on the way is understanding that is that most people aren't going to understand, actually. Even people that say they understand and are trying to help you, which is, a good thing that they're trying to help you, but that doesn't mean that they have to understand, your reasons for feeling that way, or that they have to agree with your reasons for feeling that way. But that doesn't minimize those reasons either, and that doesn't take that feeling away. But it's tough when you look at things, because you just wonder, like, why is that? Other people are in the same situation, yet they don't feel this way. Other people have been embarrassed. Other people have have failed at this, or failed at that, or have lost this, or lost that, or gone through this, or gone through that, and yet they're not in the same. They're not feeling this way. So why? What is it about me that I do? And I wish I knew and I could give you an answer for that, but I don't exactly know. I've got some theories as to why, and I've done a lot of research and studying, and I think I kind of understand it a little bit, but not completely. Everybody's different. Everybody's got their different circumstances and situations. So yours is unique, and while there may be other people that are feeling suicidal because of the same reasons, all the different circumstances surrounding their situation and your situation are gonna be different. So, and that's the other thing that will help you along the way, is realizing that your situation is unique, and as a result, you really are the key to it. You're the key to getting better. Other people can help you along the way, but no one else will be able to do it besides you. And to do it so that it lasts, not so that it's masked for a couple days, or a couple weeks, or a couple months, or a couple years, which is doable. You could keep yourself so busy over a period of time that you don't even think about it. Your mind is so occupied with other things, your body is so occupied with other things, your spirit is so occupied with other things that you don't have those suicidal thoughts, because you don't have time for it ultimately. And some people take that route, but eventually you'll have time, I feel like, and they'll return if you don't figure out how to deal with them and how to deal with them appropriately. Like I said, it was over 20 years ago when I was suicidal, and I haven't been since, but it was a long road. There was a lot of depression and anxiety and feelings of shame, and just a lot of different things along the way, hopelessness, all those things, and then it's tough. and it makes it even tougher when you're looking at other people and it just seems so easy for them. It seems like, for you it's it's slow motion. It's like you've got just weights holding you back constantly, and everybody else is just kind of light. They're zipping by you. Their emotions, their everything just seems to be easy for them, and it makes it even tougher because sometimes when you talk to those people, they they can be really hard. They can be really hard on you because they don't get it, because for them it is. And I've talked to so many people who have never had a suicidal thought, and not only have never had it, like, just look at you like you're nuts for having it. Like, how can you ever think that? How can you ever feel that? And that's a good question. That's what we ask ourselves is, why are we thinking this? Why are we feeling this? I don't understand. And that's one of the things that we struggle with, is that we don't understand it, and we want to, because we don't want to be feeling it. We don't want to feel like we don't want to wake up. We don't want to get out of bed. I used to lay in bed all day, days. When I was suicidal in college, I was 18, 19 when I was starting off. And at one point in time, my friends and I were just kind of like sitting around, of course, in my dorm room while I was lying in bed. And they were just like, how much are you in bed? And I'm like, I don't know. I almost never get out of bed. So we actually calculated that I probably averaged being in bed, 22 hours a day. And not like I was sleeping the whole time, but I just didn't see the reason to get out. Let me go to class. I don't want to go to class. I don't care. Go eat. Yeah, maybe I would get up and go out and go to eat. I mean, usually the reasons I would get out would be to go to the bathroom, get up and get something. Maybe go to somebody else's room and probably sit in a chair or something like that. But it was, a lot of time just spent in bed, and even once I got past that, being depressed, it was I didn't want to wake up. Not that I never wanted to wake up. I just didn't want to get out of bed at that point. And I would have been fine laying in bed. I still am. I still, love just laying in bed, and even if I'm awake, I don't care. Just like, I'll stay here for hours. I don't care. But it's, part of it is because it's a good opportunity to kind of think and, kind of remain calm if you can, if you're not anxious. But yeah. And it's it can really suck. And it's like when you're in bed, you're kind of safe in a way. I don't know what it is exactly, but I don't know. It's like an excuse. I was in bed. I couldn't do anything. Sorry, I didn't get out of bed till whatever. But you feel kind of safe, and I think one of the feelings that at least I had a lot is I just need some space and some time. I just want to disappear for a little while, if that makes sense. Not literally, but well, I guess maybe literally. Like I just wanted days, weeks, months where I just knew I didn't have to do anything. I could just figure myself out. I didn't have any responsibility. I didn't have to be anywhere, do anything, and and it wasn't going to make me look bad. I guess I wasn't skipping class because I didn't do anything. I didn't go anywhere. For huge portions of time. Several days and several weeks even. So I did it, but at the same time, like I felt horrible because I was missing class. I was missing appointments. I wasn't. Wasn't hanging out with friends. I wasn't seeing family. I wasn't upholding all my responsibilities, and I wasn't meeting people's expectations, and just wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing during those periods of times. And to be able to take that time and not feel like you're failing the whole time is basically what I craved and desired beyond anything else. And I know there's places where you can kind of do that. You can go to rehab, you can go to like different things like that if you develop certain issues, or just go away, but there's still that expectation that when you come out you're better, and that's kind of the underlying thing, is there's those expectations there. And what I wouldn't have, I would just love just to have been able to go away for a couple months and not only not had any expectations during that time, but not had the expectation that when I came back I was all better. Okay, you better now? It's 2 months, you should be better. If only it were that simple. But you kind of can't do that now as easily as you could. I think maybe before, I guess hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago, maybe you just gone off and found yourself, gone off into the wilderness, and until you realize who you are, what your purpose is, and then come back. And it's really difficult to do that these days, because it's even more difficult than 20 years ago when I was going through this now, because I didn't have a cell phone then. People really couldn't get a hold of me as easy as they could now, or with the expectation that they have now. Now with our cell phones, text messages, and people expect to be able to get hold of you at any point in time. So it's even more difficult nowadays, I think. So what do? I don't know. There's a lot that you could do, but you got to figure out what's right for you. And that's tricky. It's hard. I wish it wasn't, but the first step is just finding the strength and the will to just turn around and stop looking over the cliff. whatever it takes to do that. That's the first thing you got to do.